What are the prospects for tax reform as you see them? Are you and your colleagues open to having a conversation about a tax reform, or is this something you really would like to see put off?
No, well, we're always willing to have a conversation. I think what we've seen historically out of this Republican Congress is desire to cut taxes on the wealthiest Americans and on corporations, and then leave the burden on lower and middle income. So we want to see what they're up to. We will look at their proposals and we'll respond accordingly.
On the matter of olive branches being extended, are Democrats being invited into the fold here? Are you being asked for your opinions on what shape a piece of tax reform legislation might take?
No, I think as of right now, almost all the actions been in the Ways and Means Committee. They haven't reached out to any Democrats, as far as I know, even including our leadership, to talk about their blueprint. I know they've got a blueprint circulating, but again, that's been pretty much internal to the Ways and Means Committee.
You're the ranking member of the House Budget Committee. We are up against another crisis point, another chance that we could see a government shutdown if we don't have an extension of funding. Give us your outlook at this point, with a recess looming. What's going to happen here over the next month?
Well, again, this is pretty much in the hands of the Republican majority, and we only have 9 legislative days now between now and when the government needs to be funded on April 28th. The thought is that there'll be some kind of an omnibus appropriations bill, which we're certainly willing to look at, but the skinny budget that the administration put out, plus the budget that they put out for the rest of 2017, which includes $33 billion more in defense and $18 billion cut from the non-defense discretionary budget, including things like NIH, the primary medical research institution in the country. Those are things that I don't think Democrats are going to be for. And I think actually Republican appropriators are not going to be for those either. So if that's what they want to try to push through, they're going to have a hard time keeping the government from shutting down on April 28th.
You've seen the budget proposal. You've looked at the skinny budget, I imagine. Is there anything in either of those documents that you can be open to? In other words, are there points of compromise here as you see them on the horizon?
Well, I think everybody understands and realizes that we probably need to boost defense spending. We've got some capacity problems right now. We have very few battalions able to be deployed with adequate training. We've got a lot of planes that aren't equipped to fly. So we do need to make accommodations there and try to shore up our defense. But on the other hand, the administration proposed cutting $54 billion out of the non-defense side, $30 billion from the State Department, 20% from NIH, again, zeroing out things like the National Endowment for the Arts and Public Television and the National Endowment for the Humanities and HUD. So we're not going to agree to that. When we actually passed the Balanced Budget Act in 2011, the principle that we established was that whatever we did on the defense side, we would do on the non-defense side. And again, the president's budget boosts defense by $54 billion and cuts non-defense by $54 billion. That's a non-starter for most Democrats.